her being investigate both sides of the argument, come up with your own conclusions.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
And it's like y'all trying to speak for me. Did I play that part? Racism doesn't exist no more.
She is the most streamed French artist on the planet. You might be familiar with some of her songs like Jaja, which has almost 1 billion streams on YouTube alone. Nakamura, who is originally from Mali in West Africa, moved to France when she was just a baby, and she recently has been at the center of a storm after rumors that President Macron asked her if she would perform a song by French legend and icon Edith Piaf during the Paris Olympics opening ceremony. Nakamura's songs are influenced by West African Afrobeats and Caribbean zouk music, and her slang-spiced lyrics are a mixture of French and English and Arabic and West African languages, which are a vivid representation of the melting pot that is representative of La République Française. And without even waiting for confirmation, a wave of attacks from pundits and far-right figures broke out. A small far-right extremist group called the Natives criticized her potential performance, saying her music does not represent French culture, identity, and heritage, while racist online abuse sparked a police investigation. They posed for a photo by the River Seine holding up this banner, which reads, "There's no way, Aya. This is Paris, not a market in Bamako." Bamako being the capital of Mali. This has prompted fierce debates over linguistic propriety, immigration policies, but most importantly, about what constitutes and represents French identity. Nakamura responded to the attacks on X, saying, "You can be racist, but not deaf. That's what hurts you." What she's essentially saying is, you can be racist all you want, but my millions and millions of listeners and streams speak for themselves. Many French artists, athletes, and politicians have come to her defense, saying there is no better way of showcasing the vibrancy and diversity of modern French culture, and they are adamant that she should sing at the Olympics. Rachida Dati, the culture minister, warned against pure racism, and President Macron himself said he was shocked by the racist reactions, adding that the games and the ceremonies should resemble France, and that Aya Nakamura is part of French culture and French music. He added that he backed the freedom of the opening ceremony artistic director to choose artists that represent France in its diversity, its influence, its arts, and its excellence. And he also added that Nakamura would be ultimately the one to make the final decision. France's sports minister also showed Nakamura's support on X, saying, "It doesn't matter, people love you. Don't worry about anything." Meanwhile, Marine Le Pen, a leader of the far-right National Rally Party who narrowly lost against Macron in the last presidential election, said, "This isn't a beautiful symbol. It's a new provocation by Emmanuel Macron, who must wake up every morning wondering how he can humiliate the French people." That's a quote. She also said Nakamura sang who knows what language, and that she was unfit to represent the country. The backlash over her possible performance reflects France's identity crisis, where supporters of Nakamura see those who are criticizing her as refusing to accept the reality of France in 2024, a country where millions of people, many of them originating from France's former colonies in West and North Africa, the Caribbean, and Indochina, are influencing and adding to the richness of France's art and culture. On the other hand, the far right see a multicultural France intent on erasing traditional French culture and altering the language by infusing vocabulary from their countries of origin. It's still uncertain whether Nakamura will actually perform at the Olympics, but the Paris Organizing Committee is trying to limit the damage from the controversy. They have said, "We are very shocked by the racist attacks against Aya Nakamura." They also say, "Total support to the most listened to French artists in the world." This
Interesting stuff, The more things change, the more they seem to stay the same. Aya Nakamura, the most listened to French singer in the world, faced a wave of racist online attacks and insults by members of the country's far right after reports that President Macron asked her if she would perform a song during the Paris Olympics opening ceremony. The controversy triggered a fierce national debate over language and the meaning of French identity in today's society, and highlight the divisions over race and culture in the country. Yep, like I say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. kudos to Macron. Comments. It says, someone tell France in the midst of arguing what is French, send Hades back its money. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm not even going to go there, but yes, that's a very good comment right there. What is French? Another comment says, but they're, basically like white. That's what they're saying. If it's not white, it ain't right. Another comment says, who asked France to go to other people's territories, countries, and colonize them, loot their resources, and enrich France to date? It's a must for France to accept everyone from countries they colonize and extort from. It's 2024, not 1950s. Not according to them, buddy. Yeah, have your cake and eat it too type of stuff. Like, we want to take all the stuff that we want from y'all and even bring y'all over here or over there or anywhere against your will. But, even if we like your music, you can't represent France. Get out of here. Get about it. Another comment says, I'm not surprised by the French. They did it to Haitians and still trying to. Another one that says, they're okay with the World Cup winning football team, though. Another one that says, I'm black. I live in Paris, France. I love her song, but the truth be told, she doesn't represent French culture in any way, period. Oh. What is French culture then? Freaking baguettes, croissants. She was a little kid when she went to over there. She grew up in France. So she doesn't represent the culture. She's French. Next comment says she's not French. That's those comments that people make. She grew up there from a little kid, little baby. I'm sure that she doesn't know anything other than France. You know what I mean? Like, she got a little spice to her. She got a little flavor. That doesn't make her not French. Another comment says, France colonized half the world, and now some are upset by this faux attack on the purity of their culture. It would be funny if it wasn't so pitiful. Comment says, the hate is sickening, but the lack of logical reasoning is maddening. Dare I say psychotic. You kidnap and colonize people, they multiply, which was encouraged for the sake of free labor, and then, checks notes, you take issue with their presence in your country because they are now physically free and striving to be liberated, and, check notes, are the global majority. It's wild. I would agree with the psychotic comment. Like, it's a schizophrenic. It's really crazy. You have to bend yourself in mental pretzels for this stuff to make sense. Another comment says, Europe is losing Europe. Stop letting these sand people and basketball people in. Oh my God. Tell me you're racist without saying you're racist, bro. That was so racist, it was funny. Another comment says, people have such a selective memory. Everything people love about France and Europe broadly is from the countries it colonized and pillaged, from the museums to the chocolate and everything in between. And these purists have the nerve to think that they can exclude when all they know how to do is intrude, including intruding in this conversation over an artist clearly worthy of the anticipated honor. I hope she says yes if asked and proceeds to shut these actual haters down with an impeccable talent. Yeah, we'll see. Says, I did not know her, but just went to stream her music. Yeah, I might need to leave a note because I haven't. I'm gonna leave a comment just so I can look at this later. Check it out. I don't understand the words. Oh, I think I'm gonna get out of here. It's storming over here. It's like raining. It's making me sleepy. Yep. The more of the same type of stuff. Let's look at this. Duke University ends full ride scholarship program for select Black students after Supreme Court ruling. So Duke University has officially its Reginaldo Howard Memorial Scholarship Program, according to the student publication, The Chronicle. The Merit Scholarship, since its inception in 1979, was created for Black undergraduates, some of whom needed to demonstrate the need for financial assistance. The scholarship covered 100% of the cost as well as room and board. And Duke is like is one of the whitest universities that's out there. You want to have less Black people at the school. Let's read a comment. It says, how interesting that the people who spent centuries denying opportunities for Black Americans have suddenly become champions of equality and fairness so that they can deny opportunities for Black Americans. OMG. It's the reverse racism for me. Another comment says, one of the many reasons we need to save our HBCUs. Another one, it says, and it begins, this is an opportunity for HBCUs to step up their game, come home. Another one, did they have to do this? This is so cold. Another one, it says, of course they did. Another comment says, sad, but who's surprised? I agree the top athletes in every sport need to abandon these institutions and watch how fast the NIL money will follow them. The money follows the talent. That's not necessarily true. You know, the facilities go a long way. And then, you know, the way they do the rankings of these schools, like, it's always the same schools that are in like the what is it, the Sweet 16 and the bowl games and stuff like that. Like, you're not gonna get to the NBA or the NFL if the scouters, they don't know who you are. They haven't never seen you. Like, you can have great talent, but if your team your team could be great and win, but they still don't get to go to any of the bowl games because they're not in the right conference and all of that shit. Like, it's complicated as hell. Honestly, I don't really completely understand it, but I know that only certain schools get to be represented or whatever, you know. So, I mean, if they change the way they did that, then maybe. But you win bowl games, you're likely to become a professional athlete. But if you don't even ever get to make it to the bowl, then you can't win a bowl game. Even if your team is great, you just don't get to be in the bowl. Comment says, wow, did that stuff with the quickness, shaking my head. Another one says, yep, very few of us paying attention to what's happening and it's going to get worse. This is shameful. Another one that says, of course they did. No surprises here. Another one, shaking my head. No one is doing or saying anything. Why isn't this trending? Another one says, which is exactly why not one Black, highly sought after athlete should go anywhere else outside of an HBCU. We better wake up. It's coming. Look, here goes more of the same type of stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, when I saw this post right here, it kind of made me mad. Like, I'm not that mad at Duke. Like, it's not surprising and it doesn't really make me mad. Like, screw them. Screw their university. You know, overwhelmingly white. Just don't go to this. Screw their school. Go somewhere else. Screw them. They're the ones who's losing. Like I brought this up in something. I think it was in class or whatever. I was talking about how like DEI actually benefits white people more than black and brown people. It really does, okay? Because they don't know a lot of stuff. Black and brown people have to know white culture. That's how they survive in these states. White people don't have to know other people's culture to get by. They're losing. They have less understanding of things. They have less richness in their life as a result. I mean, I could talk about that for an hour. So if you don't agree with me, that's fine. You don't understand what I'm saying, that's fine too. Let me read this. It says lab results found at Nestle added sugar to infant milk products it sells in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. No added sugar in formula is set for young children in EU and UK markets. The Guardian, Nestle adds sugar to infant milk sold in poorer countries, report finds. Yeah, poorer countries, black and brown people. Like this right here pisses me off because it's like, you know, uh, it, it, they're doing this on purpose. You know, we know all the issues with the sugar, and then how addictive it is. You know, and the empty calories and stuff like that. And it's like these people, they don't know. You know what I mean? That's the part that pisses me off is that they aren't aware. Like they are sliding this in on these people. You know what I mean? Why would they think that the product would be different in their country if it's the same product, same brand, everything? Why would they think that the product is different in their country than it would be in a European country? That the average person wouldn't think that. Like that's over the top. So terrible. Would someone think of the children? The caption says, so effing over Nestle's constant harmful S. They're also adding honey, which should not be given to children under 1 in any form because of the risk of botulism. Babies' digestive systems aren't mature enough to move the Clostridium bacteria spores through the body before they cause harm. Yeah, this kind of thing makes me angry right here. This right here pisses me off. It says, wait till you find out about the free formula they handed out in African hospitals so the mother's milk would dry up so they would have to start buying formula. Another one says, Nestle is an arm of the West Global Eugenics Project. It is very intentional about supplying these people lower quality and potentially harmful product for their children. It knows what it wants to achieve. Another one, it says, didn't the Nestle CEO also say that water is not a human right? Yep, I remember him saying that. And I saw a post where they were talking about water is more valuable than oil. Like they're saying that out loud now. Another comment says, Nestle needs to disappear. A study published this month in France revealed the presence of fecal matter in bottled water sold by Nestle. Ew, I hope that's not true. Another one says, and this isn't even close to the worst thing this appalling company has done. Yeah, they'll go into a local area and buy up all the water from the local people and then bottle it up and sell it right back to them. Which would, they buy it on pennies and $1 too, like really, really cheaply. The same water that would have been just available to those people for free if they just went to the stream. An educated and united public cannot be controlled. Get organized. Learn to be active.